Don't we all love seeing legends in the making? It's not enough to be just the best player in the world anymore. With so much young talent crowding the courts of the NBA, you have to do it faster than everyone else too. So today, we'll be looking at the youngest players to win the MVP award and how they went on to become some of the biggest legends in the game. Stay tuned to find out who they are, because these stars have it all. Number 10, Wilt Chamberlain. Starting with Wilt Chamberlain, who was just 24 years and 158 days old when he became MVP of the 1959-1960 season. His rivalry with Bill Russell is legendary in the history of the game, but right off the start of his career, you could tell that he was going to change the game. Just out of college and playing for the very first time in the big leagues, Chamberlain took the court by storm. Not only did he end up winning the MVP award for the season, but he also took the Rookie of the Year award. That's right, he was just that good. Widely regarded as one of the best players to ever touch a basketball, Chamberlain would end up winning a total of 4 MVP titles throughout his career and also holds a still untouched record of an absurd 100 points in one game. Makes you wonder what you were doing in your 20s, huh? Number 9, Giannis Antetokomo. Up next, we have the Milwaukee Bucks forward who was just 27 days younger than Chamberlain when he won the title of MVP in the 2018-19 season. Antetokounmpo is a one-man basketball machine and led his team to finish with the best record at the end of the year. He was the best player and the best team of the season, so there wasn't any doubt he'd end up winning MVP for the year. But his winning streak didn't just end there. He won the MVP award the next year as well, also adding the best defensive player of the year under his belt. Antetokounmpo isn't even 27 yet, but he's already one of the most decorated players in NBA history. Giannis has proved to be the gift that just keeps on giving for the Bucks, and it'll definitely be one hell of a ride to see where he goes next. Up next, we have a name everyone will recognize. Number 8, LeBron James. We couldn't possibly have this list without the GOAT now, could we? Fresh out of college in 2009, and LeBron James was already showing the world he was a force to be reckoned with. The King was a one-man show and completely took over the Cleveland Cavaliers. He was their leading scorer and even had the highest number of assists and rebounds. Along with his teammates, he completely demolished the competition. Unfortunately, they weren't quite able to make it to the finals that season, but all the efforts paid off because at 24 years and 113 days of age, he won his first MVP award. If you like this video so far, don't go anywhere because these next few entries may surprise you. Number 7, Bill Russell. At number 7, we have Bill Russell, who won the MVP award a whopping 5 times. You'd think that would make him the person with the greatest number of awards, but there are people on this list who beat even this. When Russell won the first award in the 1957-58 season, he was 24 years and 34 days old, and from there on out, he proved himself to be one of the greatest players in history that ever dribbled the ball. Frequently mentioned along with Chamberlain due to his great height, Russell proved to be more than a match in skill as well. The superstar center led the Celts to an absurd 11 championships in the 13 seasons he played before he retired. This included an 8-year straight winning streak. Talk about domination. But if you thought these achievements were out of this world, wait until you get to the next person on this list. Number 6, Moses Malone. We seem to have a whole lot of centers on this list, but it's because they're all just that great. Even among the centers, though, Moses Malone stands out. Muscled up and filled with what seems like endless energy, he played an average of 41.3 minutes per game in the 1978-79 season. The man was simply a storm on the field, so it came as no shock that he won his first MVP title in that season when he was just 24 years and 22 days old. Because let's face it, he was every team's dream center. Malone would go on to lead the Houston Rockets to victory 2 seasons later and would also snag 2 more trophies of the MVP for 2 years straight in 82 and 83. If there was ever a basketball legend, it's Moses Malone. But now we have someone even more exciting than Moses Malone. Number 5, Kareem AbdulJabbar. There can be no list ranking the all-time greats of basketball without the highest all-time scorer's name on it. Even well into his 40s, he was playing in the All-Stars League and managed to score an unbelievable 6 titles of MVP throughout his career. There's no doubt he's had an amazing career, but you could have probably predicted that off his first 2 seasons alone. AbdulJabbar came in like a wrecking ball in '69 and snatched the title of Rookie of the Year, and his winning streak would only continue from there. With his power-packed performance and utter domination of the field, he went on to add his first title of MVP under his belt at just just 24 years and 18 days old. To add to his already amazing season, he had an absurd PPG of 31.7. This man is an absolute nightmare for anyone on the other side of the field. Stay tuned because the people coming up next prove to be even greater monsters on the field. Number 4, Bob McAdoo. Throughout his career, Bob McAdoo proved to be absolutely unstoppable on the offense. Hot on the heels of his win of the Rookie of the Year award, he snatched not only 3 straight scoring titles starting his second season, but also became one of the youngest winners of the MVP award in his third season when he was 23 years and 199 days old. He also has 2 NBA championship rings to his name and has been named the leading scorer twice. If we're talking about awards, this man definitely has no shortage of them. And neither does this person coming up next. Number 3, Bob Pettit. Some call Bob Pettit the original power forward, and he's one of the most recognizable veterans of the game. Playing a total of 11 seasons in the NBA, he led the Milwaukee Bucks to their first ever victory in 1958. He's also the first one to ever get the MVP award. That's a lot of records, so if there's anyone who deserves to be on this list, it's Bob Pettit. The Hall of Famer was an absolute beast on the field in the 1955-56 season when he played for the St. Louis Hawks, averaging an absurd 25.7 points per game in the season, ranking first in scoring in the NBA and getting the MVP award at just 23 years and 98 days old. He'd go on to have one of the best careers of anyone in the NBA, but his early seasons alone are enough to showcase his greatness. Number 2, Wes Unsel. Coming in at number 2, we have one of the greatest big men of all time. Even though his height of 6 foot 7 inches was considered the standard, this one-man basketball army more than made up for it with his iron determination and his excellent rebounds. Starting his season in '68, Unsel had already taken the court by storm. Even though he was just a rookie, he led the Baltimore Bullets to 57 wins, considering they had just 36 wins in the season before. Unsel seemed like a gift from God. He managed to take home both Rookie of the Year and the title of MVP at just 23 years and 9 days old. But his career wouldn't end there. He managed to take the Bullets to the finals 4 times, eventually leading to their victory in 1978. And finally, what everyone's been waiting for, we have the youngest player in NBA history to win the MVP award. Number 1, Derrick Rose. It's not every day someone manages to win MVP over LeBron James, but Derrick Rose did just that. The man was an unstoppable hurricane on the field, tearing apart defenses with his surreal athletic abilities and managing to become the youngest player to ever win the MVP award at just 22 years old. But while everyone's eyes were on him to see the birth of another legend in the making, he tore the ACL in his left knee, which forced him to undergo surgery. When he came back, it was obvious to everyone that he wasn't as good as before. Rose is the only MVP on this list who didn't make it into the Hall of Fame. His career was messy, awe-inspiring, and beautiful, and will probably go down as one of the biggest what-ifs in NBA history. Well, that's a wrap for this video, so how many players did you know on this list? Which one of them is your favorite? Let us know down in the comments, and make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. We'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.